No, we've only got 14 minutes until the upper bracket finals goes down. Team ISG Dreamscape versus Phobia.
It's gonna be interesting to see because when we saw ISG Dreamscape, they cut it very, very close in the initial qualifiers that I casted, and you were there as well. You know, I think it was your team that almost made a comeback against them, was it?
Yep, it was.
Yeah, it was very, very close.
We were 14-5 down, and we brought it back to 14-14.
All the way, yeah.
Went down to those final rounds.
That was something to note. Phobia kind of cruised through most things. I think if we can get the brackets up from last weekend, let's see if we can get that up. So there we go. You can see from the winners bracket, from the quarters. Where are they? Phobia's there, beat LAN Dodgers, went up against Nuts, beat them, and then now they're in the finals. So cruise through the quarters, cruise through the playoffs, and are here now in the finals. Dreamscape didn't have it.
I don't think Dreamscape actually came up against anyone in the quarters or semis that really gave them a run for their money. I think they also, apart from the original qualifiers, I don't think they really had much trouble at all getting to the winners finals. They're a strong team. They've got some great local talent. I think this is probably gonna be the first game of this tournament where it's gonna be a real uphill battle for both teams. This game should be fantastic.
It should be fantastic indeed. Nuts got knocked down, of course, to the losers brackets, but in my kind of, I guess you'd know it as well, but in our experience, you know, the team that goes down to the losers bracket just has so much more motivation once they get through each stage, and usually by the end of it, they're just like, all right, we've gone through the whole losers bracket, we've played this many matches, we're ready to go. A lot of times we see that the guys in the upper bracket, you know, they have that slight bit of rest, and then they drop the ball.
Yeah, you can't focus. I mean, when you get knocked down to that losers bracket, the first game decides completely how far you're going to go.
Yeah.
I mean, for obvious reasons, if you lose that first game, you're pretty much out. But if you win that first game, all of a sudden you see a chance. And as you progress through the lower bracket, each game you go through in the lower bracket, it boosts your motivation even more.
Yeah.
Until once you get to those lower bracket finals, you really do feel unstoppable. I mean, obviously, we're going to see in the next couple of hours, you know, can they come back from this loser bracket finals to the grand finals? And I mean, first we've got to watch Phobia versus ISG Dreamscape, and that's going to be a fantastic game. But I think what's really going to decide how this tournament plays out is who gets knocked down and how Nuts has prepared for this lower bracket final game.
Well, the one thing that they really need to watch out, whoever wins this match, is to make sure that they keep themselves warmed, keep themselves on point, and then when they come into the winners, when they come into the grand finals, they're just ready, instead of just, you know, we've won and we have this huge break, and they end up doing nothing. So that's one thing the winner of this game has to do. But it should be a good match, like you said. Phobia going up against ISG Dreamscape, clash of the titans, both of them, no opposition, coming through to the finals. If we haven't had the coin toss or the eliminations yet, so it's going to be interesting to see whether they just stay with the standard maps, or they go into the custom maps, you know, Cash, Mirage, and whatnot.
I would love to see Overpass be played. I think it's going to be unlikely.
Yeah.
But I think whichever team chooses Overpass, if they've prepared for it, it's going to be a fairly one-sided game, but it'll be interesting to see nonetheless. You know, we always see those 4 or 5 main maps. You've got Nuke, you've got Inferno, you've got Dust 2, you've got Mirage. I mean, Cash has been played a hell of a lot lately.
Yeah.
But you've still got those 4 maps that everybody knows how to play, especially Dust 2. I think Dust 2, one of the most famous CS maps ever since, you know, even Beta 1 back in the late 90s. Dust has come all the way until today, and still one of the most popular maps. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd love to see a game on Dust, but I'd also love to see 3, you know, non-common choices. I'd love to see, you know, Overpass. I'm not sure if it is in the map pool, but I'd love to see Overpass. I'd love to see Cash, and I suppose I'd love to see Mirage. I'd love to see those 3 as the maps. It would make a really interesting game, because you couldn't say, you know, that's their strongest map, that's their weakest map.
Yeah.
It will be an even match. I mean, it may not be, but I'm hoping it will be.
It's going to be interesting to see as well because, you know, we just had IEM Katowice, and the teams surely would have been watching that, especially, you know, the MVS NIP Fnatic.